Do you still like playing Trove, or do you play it for us viewers? Both. At the end of the day, I think I've been playing Trove so much that it's like a habit that I can't get rid of. And so every now and then, like I'll be like at the point where, like today, it's like, oh dude, I really want to stream Trove. And I mean, I don't know, I can't honestly say like if that's got to do with 100%. Like if you guys weren't here watching the Trove stuff, would I still keep playing Trove? Probably not, but that's not necessarily something that I can like equate to that, because it goes hand in hand, you know what I mean? And I know that some people try to be like, so you're just playing Trove for the views and stuff, and it's like, well, yeah, I basically consider this to be my job, but at the same time, it's like, I still enjoy it, I think if I'm being perfectly honest with you guys, I love Trove and I love creating content for Trove, but I think I've been fairly forthcoming with you guys about how frustrating it is to be a content creator on this platform for how many years and to have never really broken out past Trove, Because I got ideas, damn it. There's videos that I want to do, and I think that my content's worth it if I, toot my own horn here a little bit beyond just the Trove stuff. But I wouldn't necessarily like, I don't think I ever consider like just dropping Trove beyond like career side of things, because that would be very self-sabotaging. But I just mean like in general, I don't know if I would be able to quit this game because I've been playing it for so long. Like it's a part of my life. I don't really want to. Like, Trove's been good to me as far as like YouTube and everything is concerned. And it's also like taught me a lot about the content I create. Because I still remember, like, as much as you guys are coming here and chilling and just being absolute ballers and just supporting me and everything like that, at the end of the day, I get most of my views from tutorials, because I learned a very, very long time ago, like when I was first playing Trove back in the day, the only reason I wanted to make tutorials is I noticed nobody else was making tutorials, and B, as far as the entire platform of YouTube, which is still guilty nowadays, people will make tutorials that can take 30 seconds to talk about something, and instead they span it to 10 minutes. Like, take, for example, me earlier in the stream, just talking about, hey guys, Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to end up having a co-op mode. Now imagine I was every other content creator, and I would end up making a 10 or 20 minute video that would slowly blah, 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 talk your ear off about speculation and theories and honestly, stuff that doesn't matter. And so I kind of pride myself on that fact. It's just when it comes to making tutorials on other games, there's not as much nuance. Like, as much as, people kind of meme and hate on Trove, it's got a lot going for it in terms of like its gameplay. And I've talked about this at length many times before, so I won't go into it too much. But the fact that we've got how many different classes, and all of them do have their role to play. Like, there's a lot of different things that you can do in this game as far as like how it functions gameplay wise. Now, it's not necessarily going to end up changing any of the builds. This isn't Path of Exile or something where it's like, oh, you can build all these characters different. No, you just build them towards movement or damage. Like, that's it. But still, at the end of the day, people still want to watch those tutorials, even though I'm literally saying the same crap I've been saying for years. And I think that's kind of the most discouraging thing about playing Trove for this long is, oh my God, Twitch, you suck, bro. This platform. No. What do you think would be a good idea to bring a lot of people back to the game? To Trove? I mean, honestly, just listening to player feedback and actually adding the stuff that we want. Like, maybe I'm a little bit greedy here to say I want new classes. That'd be the main thing for me. I would love to see new biome variety. I'm not saying they necessarily need to add new biomes entirely. For example, we're here in the Longshade. Where's all the giant tentacles and stuff? Or where's like a color swap to each of those biomes? Like, it would be so much easier for them to do that, or just add a couple more bits of generation to make this place really stand out as like a true end game area, rather than just, here's a new 5-star dungeon. So why is it all of the biomes in the first place? Like, why not just one unique biome? I don't know, because they already did that with Geode Surface, I guess. But that's just if they wanted to make biomes. Honestly, I would still just want new classes added to the game, because regardless of whether the new class is like exciting or not. Classes, in my opinion, add the longest replay value to the game because you've got a minimum of 20 hours worth of grinding a class up, but then there's so much more time that you would spend playing the class and maxing out its gems and stuff, especially if it's a class that you actually enjoy, you know? Because with Trove, especially, the big thing for me is the feel of the game. That's why I'm still playing it so much. There's still no other MMO out there that has this kind of movement. Now, in my dream world, we would have gear completely overhauled so that it would be more of a loot table system, like Diablo or whatever. And then, I don't know, they could have some premium crap to increase drop chances or something stupid. Just copy something from Diablo Immortal. Because my dream game is an over-the-shoulder game that plays and has the mechanics of like Diablo or Path of Exile, rather than it being top-down isometric. But that's my 2 cents. Again, for me, I just think they should be pumping out new classes regularly. Because as far as other aspects of the game, I think it's weird that, oh, we're working on a new tutorial. That's funny because you're not bringing in new players, so why are you wasting your time working on this? It makes sense, and I'm cool with them overhauling the tutorial, but really, like, what? Who asked? Do you think that the devs are getting anxious with character balance, and so that's why they don't add more? Is that what you're asking? Because I would say I understand that. I do, but let's be real. This game's not complicated, okay? You basically just build every character towards damage, and the only nuance comes with their abilities and how much damage you do with each of their abilities, and maybe their survivability. My point being is, all they would really have to do is just tweak a bunch of settings, you know, like what they had to do with the Gunslinger when they overhauled it, and then they didn't buff it enough. Like, I don't know what they do to collect like internal information to see how classes perform and stuff. I don't know if Trove has that type of limitation, but I think balance would be something for me personally. I know that this is a hot take most people would disagree with. I think if they just kept regularly adding classes, nobody would care about power creep. I mean, I think people would. I wouldn't. I would much rather just have consistent new characters to play. I don't care if they're suddenly the strongest, like the Solarian. That's power creep. Because to me, it's the idea of just having more would make this more fun. And it also, in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong about this because I just play this game. I don't have the internal stats or anything. But I think it's safe to assume that classes generate the most money for the game, because there's so many different things that feed into making a class stronger. And then they wonder why their sales are dipping when it's like, bro, most people already have their classes maxed out, so why would they want to spend money? There's no new class to max out. You know what I mean? I could be crazy though. Like, I've talked about this before in terms of the cosmetics. Basically, I think that the most beneficial thing that they could do is just stop what they're working on and take like a solid year or whatever to implement a sort of in-game voting system. You know, they've already got Fluxion, so that's already like the code is already there. But what they would need to do is give us a voting system for modded costumes and whatever, so that they could just take that data from players to see what the most popular costumes are for the week or the month or whatever. I think that if they ended up like streamlining the process so that it would be less workload on them to get mods added into the game, and instead could be almost entirely community driven, with the devs only stepping in for a little bit to add like a price and throw it into the cash shop or something. I think that way they could have a continual stream of new content added into the game, while they themselves would be able to spend their time working on other stuff, instead of right now when things get added to the game in packs and whatever, they take a significant amount of time to do so, I think just because they manually sit there and go through the process. And then most of the time we'll end up getting a new costume pack that the devs made all the costumes. And if they make VFX, especially, it takes a lot longer.